Hi, everyone. Welcome to the April 13th Park and Rec Board meeting. And could you please call the roll?
Sure. Tammy,
I'm here.
Patty,
I'm here.
Mr. John,
I am here.
Deborah is here. City Manager Kyle Reichler is not here. And Community Service Administrator Aaron Wenz is
Here.
here.
All right, awesome. Can I please have an motion to approve today's agenda?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Me? Okay, Patty.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, the agenda for today is approved. If I could, I'm not sure if this is where I insert this, but since I sent this agenda to Patty, I have to have a hard 3 o'clock stop today. So we could do one of two things, because sometimes the review of the park surveys can go a little bit longer depending on how much description and whatever we're covering. So we could either, one, Patty can take over as vice chair and I will excuse myself at exactly 3 o'clock, or we can just stop where we are at 3 and finish next month.
I won't
Let's
be here
play it
next
by
month,
ear.
so actually I might be here no, I won't be here next month. So,
Okay, so then I would like to make a motion for Patty to just continue on with today's meeting.
Where do I
So
stick
moved.
that?
so moved. You made a motion,
I
right?
did in your second, all in
Second,
favor?
sorry.
That's okay.
Yep,
Everyone go with that?
aye.
Aye, okay, so,
Aye.
perfect. So that's what we'll do. And then, agenda item number 2, can someone please make a motion for the approval of the March 14th
I will.
minutes? And
I'll
may I have a second?
Second,
Thank you. All in favor?
aye.
Okay, so we're good with that. There are no citizens, so we have no citizen comments. I had agenda item number 4. Can you tell I had a lot of coffee today? I'm like, like my brain can't, my tongue can't keep up with my brain on how fast I want to talk. So
Breathe.
I'm gonna take a deep
Where's
breath.
your water?
I left it in the coffee. I just have coffee. I have more coffee. Inventory of Bel Air Beach logo merchandise. Are you good with the number? Okay, so Patty, if you could please.
Okay, there's 13 beach towels as of last Friday. 10 hand towels, 6 tags or license plates, 13 logo stickers, 2 belly bags, and the welcome bags, I didn't know, so there's ours, there's 8 of them, and Publix, there's 8 of those that are filled up already,
Okay,
ready to hand out. I asked Patty, I said, these are ready, and she said, yes, so I counted them anyway. No hats, no t-shirts, and no visors.
okay, so we are out of hats. And I'll check with Kyle because he did place an order for a different color. I don't know where that is. And then,
I have a question.
no hat.
Did you say, what was it, 8 welcome bags or 16?
8 and 8.
8 and 8
8
from,
of ours and 8 that are in a big green Publix bag.
So I'll
Okay.
give you an update on that real quick. So I came in one afternoon and put all of those together because since January, we have 10 new residents. All of those welcome bags have names on it. I believe Aaron went out and put little door tags on their doors and said, hey, we have a welcome bag for you with vital information that you need to know for living in the city of Bel Air Beach. If you could please come pick them up. So only 2 people have picked them up. So that being said, I know that some of them, maybe you know the number, I don't know the exact number, are condos that may not actually be,
Yeah, I think it was 2 or 3 of them.
2 or 3 are
Rentals.
rentals.
Yeah, are rentals. I believe it's 3 off the top of my mind, so.
Yeah, and I mean, with that being said, I mean, is the tenant allowed to come pick up the bag if they're a long-term tenant, or is it just the
No,
owner?
they're all Airbnb rentals, so they're not long-term rentals.
Which isn't really allowed here, but it is because
Yeah,
they're,
condos, they have different rules.
they have different
Yeah.
rules.
that's
Right.
crazy.
So, yeah,
Like their rules override our rules.
yeah, so.
So the condos are allowed?
Yeah, if we see a condo, odds are it's gonna be a weekly rental, odds are, but I still think it's worth the knock and talk and see if whether or not there's a resident or not.
Are you
So,
saying that the 3-month minimum rental doesn't apply to the condos?
Correct.
That is correct.
Where does it say that in the rules?
That's been grandfathered in. I could bring Steven from code enforcement, he can explain that, but
I didn't know that either.
yeah.
I knew it, I just
I knew
didn't
it,
know the
yeah.
number of how many of our welcome bags were.
Good, yeah, a good majority of those condos are vacation rentals.
How many residents are in those condos about?
Full-time? I'm not sure, I'll look into that.
How many units?
Oh gosh, I have no, I'll look into that too, that's something I haven't.
Like 1,000 or something?
Probably give or take. Maybe.
think that many?
Yeah, maybe.
1,000?
Maybe
That
about
seems
1,000.
high.
Yeah.
When they say we
There's
have,
only
what,
800
18 or
households.
1,600 residents, is that including the condos?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so that is higher.
And I'm only going by those door-to-door handoffs we had because guess who did all the condos?
You did.
Yes, and like a lot of them you can't even get, I mean,
You
I
can't
couldn't
get to.
go door to door, like you guys know from campaign. It's very difficult, I mean, a lot of them wouldn't even let me hang a survey saying, please go online and do, you know, because you could do a little QR code or whatever. So,
Well, I ran into a new resident who moved in on 7th Street. I'm sure you guys know who it is because the cops have been called several times there
yes,
already.
that lovely house, yeah.
106.
On
7th
7th?
Street.
Mm-hmm. Anyway,
Is it that house?
It's gotta be.
he mentioned.
Is that a condo?
No,
No.
it's a house. He
Right.
mentioned that he got a tag for a pickup bag.
So
So-
I was actually at John's house today, we were discussing that.
Okay.
That's my neighbor behind me.
and it's an Airbnb, or
No.
there's-
No, he just
No,
bought
no,
it.
no. No, better not be.
Yeah, it's not.
Up they, well,
Messy,
Well,
Things in
the
the
way
yard
he
shouldn't
put
be.
it is he's from Polk County, so.
What time?
Polk?
Oh, okay.
So I guess it wasn't unusual to have things in the front lawn like
this
cars
is
and
how he was
campers and.
described.
Or, you know, this is John's view from his backyard.
That's what my husband, well, I won't say it now.
it's,
Okay, moving on. I'm sorry I brought that up, John.
That's okay. So, as far, we've never had visors, so I don't,
Okay, I
and
don't
then t-shirts you can just take off because we won't be doing those anymore. They need to go to
Okay.
Mary Mouse. And then hats we're gonna be getting back in.
we are getting hats?
Yes, they're
Okay.
already ordered.
All right.
We ordered them in like a khaki
And we're
color.
not gonna get belly bags again, you
No,
said,
we're not
right?
getting belly bags again, and we're not gonna be getting those license plates again either.
Okay.
But those we're putting in the welcome back, so like,
Okay.
those will go hand in hand with, you know,
All
these
right.
already have all the license plates in them.
Okay,
And then there's a whole nother box of logo stickers, so we have a ton of those.
okay,
And then these will keep, and then, maybe next week we can start looking at samples for like the cups.
Okay.
Okay. All right, does anybody have any questions about the merchandise?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So the big guy, review of the 2023 Park and Rec surveys. And John, thank you very much for doing mine
And for helping me.
and for helping Deb and for thank you all for doing them because I mean, they're not terribly taxing, but you know, it's a project. So with that being said, who would like to go first?
I don't know, I guess I'll
I gotta
go.
bring
I
mine.
don't know how we wanna do the format. I was involved in, I did 8. I rode with, Deb. I'm-
That's okay.
I'm getting senile. Deb, Patty, and Tammy. And Aaron.
Hey, Avon.
So I went to 12 of the sites, and I thought it was, I don't know how you want to do this. I'd just say my general impression was, as I went through them, I did notice, that there's some different, the uses are different, but I would say that the ones that are really just set up as parks are nicer than any of the other facilities. I guess I would say that Belle Isle Park is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, Deb, you would agree with me that 20th and 25th
Are
or cut
beautiful.
above.
Yeah.
So I don't know, what you saw, Patty, but I'm pretty familiar with all the accesses down and Morgan Park. We have 3 really nice facilities. So if we were to say we'd like to have some kind of a standard, them all look like that. Well, we do have
Great.
a template or what can be done. Having said that, what are you gonna do with the marina? Well, I mean,
Well, the biggest thing at the marina would be to pave the parking lot, but that's like a ginormous project because like driving on that,
Shell?
yes, I hate it. It's like.
well, I don't know, it's pretty nasty stuff, but I don't know what it costs, and it probably drains pretty good. But it's an eyesore. But if it works and it's cheap, I don't, I guess what would be of interest, I don't know if we've ever, like on the walking easement, we did, no, I don't want to do that. I'm just going to talk about what I saw. I don't want to make more work out of it than it is. Thank you, right, exactly. If I do that, remind me of that, will you? Just what we do, just that the city knows that we have somebody going, we're going to do some kind of a report to the city council, I assume, even if it's nothing other than just a compendium of these things handed out. So that's a very important step in and of itself. Just going out there, somebody knows you're looking on a plus and a minus side. It's like, hey, I think for the most part, I think everything I saw was debris-free, very little safety issues. But as I went through them, and right at the end, I just happened to do this Belle Isle Park, and it was the same day that Deb and I went to do hers. The 20th and 25th Street
Are beautiful.
access compared to 16th particularly, quite frankly, because it's such a big and valuable piece of property. 7th is a little different because you've got that utility there, although it's really not bad. It's got a nice oak tree, and it works well. And of course, it has a brand new dock, which works fine. I notice, that the South and Second, they're nice, but when you compare them to Belle Isle and 20th and 25th, I mean, it's like, there's just no comparison.
Have you guys seen those parks?
Sure.
They're really nice.
Yeah, they are very
I
nice.
live on 20th, so I go down there at least once a week, and I.
Do you have
know
a picture of 20th?
I do.
Okay. 'Cause
I
know
didn't
do-
print it though, I have it on my phone.
Yeah, that's fine.
When I went to First and Second, or South and Second,
Yeah.
and in my brain, I'm comparing it to 20th. So I didn't write the most pleasant things about
No,
First.
South
Well, this
Park
is,
a
I
mess.
guess-
South Park is an absolute
Yeah.
disaster right now. And anyway,
What is it called, Southport?
Well, I
South
think this
Park
is
is
my
one of
my
its
point,
towers.
is that as I went through, then all of a sudden I got to these 3 parks at the last, and I said, wait a minute, I've already published all these
This is
reports.
20th, and if
I'm
you
not
go
saying that they're-
forward, you'll have more photos. Sorry, I didn't print this stuff.
And it's, actually, it's got a dedication
Yes,
plaque there for the. man
both
that
parks,
developed.
yes, and that's what I was wondering, if those dedications decorated or furnished those parks with the beautiful trees and the shrubbery and everything.
well, it's the same thing with Belle Isle. Like, it's got the double benches and there's dedications there, which is why on like the foundation side of it, like we're putting together this Adopt a Park program.
Mm-hmm.
So because the parks that like look better or that are our templates, someone else has donated or put money into other
Right.
than the city.
Right.
So we do have those opportunities to do benches, to do different things where you can buy that, get a dedication plaque, and it's a tax write-off now, which when those people did these things, it wasn't a tax write-off. They just did it
From their
because they-
heart.
From their heart, because they, I mean, and it still would be, but especially if you're dedicating it to, a loved one or something like that. I didn't really read the dedications, but I know the city does a really good job. Like if they get a little like patinaed over too much or whatever, we can't read it. Kyle had a company come in like 6 months ago and clean it up. I can't remember the exact time frame, but they do take care of those dedication plaques.
It was the same family on 20th and 25th, so,
Because he was the developer.
okay,
Those homes
of
back
that
in
whole
the
area.
50s and 60s.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, I guess so the thing that stood out was the landscaping.
Yeah.
There are smaller spaces. I mean, like 16th is like twice as wide as the other deals. And it had been beaten up by something had been driving on it.
Yeah, something's driving in the middle of that. I don't
Yeah,
know
it's
if it's
the,
the person next door doing that work.
It's the contractors, so.
He should be
Are they paying?
responsible.
They should pay for that restoration.
Well, here's the thing though, the difficulty part is finding out who the suspect is on that. And it's the contractor is going to say, well, it wasn't me.
It was the
It's gonna be a
subcontractor.
subcontractor, we can't prove who the subcontractor is. So they've been warned not to drive on the grass, we haven't seen any issues of that since. However, I was just there last week or so, and somebody again was on the grass.
So they're
I mean, they have
moving
to
the
be
cones
cited.
because the cones are there.
So-
Phones are easy to move,
So-
put chain or.
Some of the ideas, I've discussed this with Kyle, is, because, especially with our parks, because we're having illegal dumping in our parks, we're having some other things that are happening, is potentially just getting some game trail cameras and just to monitor stuff like that, not the citizens, but for the violations of problematic areas, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the idea. We're going to discuss it further. I know that's something that we've done at a different municipality and it's worked. But, without a suspect, we truly can't do anything other than.
That's real damage, those, I
Oh,
mean,
it
there's
is.
ruts and everything else,
Yeah,
that's
it-
gonna cost some money to fix that.
It is.
You would think the
It's sad.
contractor has to take responsibility for.
He
his
should.
subcontractor.
The
The
Yeah.
general
That's like saying, I don't know
contractor
which
should
one
be
of my kids
responsible
did
for
it.
it, general conditions.
If you go
I'm
into
still
Google,
gonna pay for
if you go into
Or
Google
my kids
Earth,
are.
if you
Right.
go into Google Earth, you can actually see a trailer on the grass and it actually has a trailer on there, but you can't tell if that person did.
Well,
it.
maybe part of the permit process should be the general contractor who he receives a permit. Our permit should include a clause in there that they're responsible to all damages either by them or any subcontractor or any authorized person on this site in connection with this
government
construction,
property.
period.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I'll have to look into that.
When they did the street, 12 and 13,
Mhm.
and they tore up people's driveways and
Yep.
yards and things, they had to put it
They
all
did.
back.
And
What's the
mailboxes, put
difference? Yeah,
mailboxes
what's the
back in,
difference?
yeah.
So two things about that. Number one, I actually think cameras are a good idea for safety reasons as well. If you ever need to look back at something, you can. But number two, it's probably just cheaper just to do a pole, a chain.
We're gonna start that on 25th Street, I think.
That would look good.
Mm-hmm.
We're
A
gonna do
black
that.
chain,
Or 24th, what?
It's 25th.
25th, yeah, we're actually going to do that. We'll put some 4x4s in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 of those with a chain and kind of give it a shot, see how we go. So it is on my to-do board in my office.
I think we should consider that for all of the bay accesses. I think it would look good.
I think so.
It could, it keeps people going into the entrances as opposed to
With
going
golf
over the
carts and
grass.
that.
I mean, at least grown-ups.
Yeah, I
And
like
and
that.
Yeah.
it frames it in, it looks better as like an entrance. I'm talking about
I
a
agree.
chain with posts,
I agree.
you know, and
Or
then
maybe a rope.
like that black is
Makes
real
it look
nice.
more
Nautical. So on 25th, they had those pilings all tied up with the rope, so
Yes.
I could see why you're saying that. It
Yeah.
would kind of tie into
And
that.
if it's
Some of
thick,
those,
they're not
yeah.
gonna be able to cut it.
We
Oh,
just,
right, yeah, you get
Or
that.
you would do
gotta-
post and ropes?
Yeah.
the only
That'd be
thing
good.
you gotta be cognizant of is when
Right.
the guys go in there with their lawnmowers.
Perfect.
And having some, if it's really thick, we
The
gotta
thing
figure out
is,
a
you can
solution.
come around them, Aaron. There's no reason why you can't go on the sidewalk and come around them. But it
Keeps
prevents you
people
from
off the grass.
driving.
We were gonna try to really take up the majority of that frontage. That way
Okay.
That way people can't put their golf carts in, because that's what
That's what's killing
that's what's
Southport.
killing it, yeah,
Okay.
or golf carts. So we are on that.
We should do that at all of them then.
And I love the fact that you guys are saying that, because I know when Kyle and I were discussing this, it was just, hey, let's throw out the lawn park first. So I think collectively, if people are thinking that might look good, I think that's something that we can move forward with, and it's not a hard thing for us to do. We can probably get 2 days to be done with it.
That would be great.
Yeah.
So do you know why you're doing 25th Street first as opposed to
We've
South
had-
Park?
We've had complaints, numerous complaints, from both sides of the neighbors in regards to golf carts going in there tearing up the grass.
I know, but South Park too, you've had a million
Well,
complaints.
Beside the bench.
Well, but no, like about golf carts and like kids there having parties at like
Maybe
midnight.
too.
You've
Yeah, I
That's
have,
what they do on the
lots
easement.
of,
The
I
easement is
personally-
where they have their
I believe
parties.
you. I haven't had it yet. I believe you. Maybe
Yeah.
Kyle has gotten them and just hasn't relayed those to me.
well, I
yet.
know he's got them because it's been me and Patty Cotton. Seriously, because it's constant and like she can literally sit in her backyard and people hang over her fence. And it's call after call, it's either her or it's me, and it's a lot, like,
Are-
that's not the first time the bench has gone in the water
That's,
either.
yeah, so we
Wait,
changed-
what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
they threw
changed
the
it this
bench.
time. I don't know if you.
Is there
I saw
only
it.
one
Yeah.
bench or is there
There's
two?
just one bench.
Just one
Okay.
bench.
Wait, by Patty's house? That's called South Park?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's the one of the ones I had, and I did say that there's a couple of hazards there.
Yeah, there always is,
Yeah,
because they bust up
seawall
everything.
cap is
Yeah, I saw-
broken,
I
and
saw
there's a
those.
piece of rebar sticking out on one of them. I said it could use another bench. I didn't know that there were one of them.
Yeah.
But isn't there a way to, bolt them down or
Well, he
something?
said they change it now,
Yeah,
But
but
they
that
cut the
looks-
chain though,
that-
it was chain.
that
They
looks
cut the
ugly.
chain.
Yeah.
It does look
That
ugly.
looks really ugly.
The only other thing that we could do.
It's ghetto.
I mean, you
That's
could pour
crazy.
concrete and then put the bench on top of that, or we could dig. It's gonna sound pretty bad, but we could cinder blocks, dig,
Right.
put the cinder blocks, and then have those cables coming
Right.
up holding them in. No one's gonna be able to pull them off. I mean,
Whatever,
if they
whichever
want to
is
dig to cut
more
the-
cost effective
Right.
would be.
But when you dig, you create a little bit of damage, but it takes time for it to regrow, not a big deal, so.
But that one, is there any irrigation systems in any of the parks?
Yes.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it looks like
So-
there is in some, and it looks like there's none.
So, last week, Public Works graded the crew. I just bought the new heads for the irrigation. Those have all been replaced. We've been replacing leaks, Bayside, 6th Street, and a few other parks. We've done some leaks, so those have been repaired. So, and here on.
This park they've stolen,
the heads?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
from, oh my goodness.
yeah.
that park is problem child. It's
That's
just
because
where
it has the
is.
park
We need to
across the
close it down
street.
there?
It is where it is. It has potential to be a great park.
Yeah,
The view is
it
great.
needs more,
Something, it needs a tree, plants.
Wait, I missed
said
it.
it needed
Which one are we
bushes
talking about?
along both
It's
sides, and
the
it needs
one
to
right on
have
Harbor
that.
Drive,
Even if it's a shell pad.
down by Tammy's house.
Because it's-
Oh, yeah, yeah. You
it's-
mean
and it has-
south or
it looks
second?
like it has
Yes.
So the Keys are on Second with the dock, and then south is just an observatory. A lot of dog traffic through there.
Ton.
Well, it gets Indian rocks, you know.
And all that.
Okay.
So it's heavily used. And, well, Browns Park is right there.
That's what I just said,
You know,
yeah.
Right, right.
The manager of the company, and I was advised, now, I'm not the pro at pesticide stuff,
Yeah.
so,
I don't like 'em.
but I was told that when they sprayed it, it was in the middle of the day, hot, so it baked it on the grass, which
Yeah.
causes that browning.
Right.
So after contacting the manager guy, he said it's all water-based, and it shouldn't do that. So I've already taken photos of that, waiting to see, hey, the before and after results, so.
Because it's all dead,
Sorry.
is that what you're showing it?
Oh, it's all dead.
Oh, yeah, all the grass.
It was sprayed on the 31st, so,
March.
yeah. That's my birthday, so.
You said you were handling irrigation for which parks? Bayside,
They've all
6th?
been- they've
Oh,
been
all?
done. Yep.
Aaron and Kyle get all these surveys from us, right?
Okay.
And y'all just go over them, right?
So I looked at your survey with Morgan. I have some to-dos from your list,
Okay.
so,
No, did you
Yeah,
already
I spent
take
about 2
everybody's
hours
results and
working.
put them in that working order, or not yet?
so how I done it was, because, I know John had done other people's, I didn't know whose was whose. Well, I kinda did.
I just did Tammy's, just.
Oh, okay.
so
Yeah,
just-
John just
I did 8 of them.
accompanied
She had
me.
4, I had 4, I did hers.
So I got the list, and I got the email from myself, but then it goes in order. So like when you did City Hall, I got all the photos for City Hall. And then when you did Bayside, I've got your to-dos or your observations with all the photos.
And my amendment.
So I've got your amendment in there, so.
I stand corrected. The kids play stuff does need to be replaced. There was a hole in it, I missed it. So it's a learning
It
experience.
is, it's
on
Monday it gets taken out.
I suppose Tammy brought that up last
The
time
whole
she
thing?
went through
Right after
there,
I
so.
got it, like a
For
year
real?
ago,
Yeah,
ordered
so-
that.
Yeah, there's a hole in it. They do need to be replaced.
So
There
you're
are
replacing the whole playground or
Yes,
just,
Just the actual, the structures, the slides and all that.
oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, so on the
Oh,
17th,
for recap.
on the 17th that happens. I believe
That's
it's
what I'm
just
asking him if
7
he
a.m.
did yet, and I don't think he's understood.
Well, what is, so when we're all done with this, Tammy, so what, so Patty, you produce some reports then, obviously? Okay, so then you put them all together in that order, and that's submitted to the city council. What is then Tammy do some kind of a summary at a meeting or something, or?
Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about, Aaron, because so like Kyle took all of the reports and then he put it in that one page and then he color coded it, yes, so that's what,
You would read that.
You want me to hold it for you?
I've got to that point now.
so it literally will, like,
You want
it's
readers?
the to-do list, like, so there's a column for emergency, like there's a big hole that needs to be fixed. Like the problem with like South Park seawall is that section of the seawall belongs to Indian Rocks Beach, not Bella Beach. So
Ooh.
that's why there's a line right there. And so, but someone needs to contact Indian Rocks Beach, like, and
It's part of
say
the park, it's the end of the park, but it's still theirs?
it's their property, it's on their property line. It's,
But there's 2 spaces and they're 4 or 5 feet apart where it's broken off.
I just know that I have surveyed this park before and I brought it to the attention and Kyle's like, that end of the park, because I had the picture, he's like, that whole section is Indian Rocks Beach. Like, this is the property line. Like, the property line almost goes along the tree where the bench is chained
Okay.
to.
Oh,
So,
well then that's where we need to put a row of shrubs. All the
Yeah,
way
but
down to the
that's
seawall.
Was this emailed to you or just printed for you?
He printed it and gave it to us.
all of us.
You didn't go make a copy.
I had no idea we had this, so I will.
I didn't get that.
This was from the
No,
last
this
time we
was
did
last
this.
year.
I will.
This time last year, probably.
Yeah, because we don't do it. So Kyle, we would submit this stuff. Now it will be Aaron, and then he would take all of the information that we gave, and then he compiles
Just
it
a reminder to
into
myself here.
this format.
Take a picture of it.
Yeah.
And so it's
Probably a good
basically
idea.
like what's an emergency, what needs to be taken care of immediately, like it's a danger, what can be handled like in the next week with stuff that they already have, and what's like a long-term project. So like say for example, the last time I surveyed Morgan Park and the parking lot was a disaster. Well, that was a long-term thing, but the parking lot just got repaved. But some of the easy fixes were like there was rust around the sinks, there was rust on the walls, there was so that was a quick, like water lines, so that was a quick, easy where they could just go and paint it one day and then it looks nice. Like the water fountain being rusted out, that would be another thing that it can't be replaced tomorrow, but it's on like the, maybe the next quarter or whatever. So I can't remember the exact categories. Can you read them real quick, Patty?
Maybe.
I-
Description, responsibility, date identified, and date corrected.
Okay.
I think it's color
These
coded.
things, these are all the things that went wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, the blue was finished, pink was future planning, yellow was immediate, orange is soon, and green is ready to do.
Okay, so that's sort of like how he kind of broke it down. After we give all the results, like
That
so
is
now I'm
small.
sure Aaron is gonna
Yeah.
go to you and he
I'll
can
be doing
email
that.
that to
See,
you.
if I had known that, I would have that done and ready to go.
Okay,
So,
cool.
yeah.
Well,
But I
then-
did notice, the some of the easy ones that we could do like right away, like on yours, was the like yellow curving, paint the yellow
Yeah.
curving. I mean, we could
Because
do
the
that.
blue looked like it had just been painted,
It-
but the yellow
new
is all
pavement,
chipped up.
The new pavement, yeah.
Okay.
So, so I will be looking into that. I'll start going through looking at, you and I already did Bayside.
Yep.
Park, so we're already aware of that. I'm very familiar with City Hall area here. All the other parks, I'm gonna start going and looking myself, now that we're finally caught up from getting all the rest of the stuff we've been having to do, done, so.
Sounds like you guys are being pretty attentive to the parks on your own already,
They're
but
killing it.
Did you, do you still have 2 now?
Yeah, so
Did
we
you have one and
picked
one?
up, we picked up a fella by the name of Cheston, phenomenal pickup, could not be happier. He's like a miniature version of Brady. So, yeah, we're super happy to have him.
So you have 2 crewmen working.
Yes, we do. And I have to give them props to everybody here because they do more work. In fact, Indian Rocks, the folks in charge there want to send their guys here to see how we have 2 guys that are doing all the work of what 5 or 6 of those guys there. So we have 2 of them doing it.
Can I say, just, looking at what we're saying here, kind of looking at it like on a big picture basis, the people that we actually have doing the cutting, edging, we hire out the fertilizing. Most of the stuff I saw at BG, it'd be nice if we had a little more landscaping here, okay? But generally speaking, they not only go through and pick up the garbage, they also clean up the dog waste, okay? They clean up the dog waste, they cut the grass. So in terms of what our crews do, I think it should be, we should agree, or we should have some position on how we feel, at least from our observation, that our crews in the city are doing with what they got.
Yeah,
And
good
I
job.
personally, from what I saw, there's some spots, there's just not much you can do. Clearly, there's kids and stuff like that. There's some spots that they use to get together to smoke dope or smoke cigarettes or whatever they do. And there's not much the cities can do about that, okay? But generally speaking, from what I saw, I thought the parks were well maintained. The grass was cut frequently enough. I didn't think there were not a lot of weeds.
I agree.
So I think basically our maintenance crews do a pretty good job.
They do, and not only that, again, just to kind of put them in a highlight right here, is, like I said, they're digging up the parks, doing the irrigation. They did all the tree trimming in the parks.
Oh, really?
All red tide, all those dead fish we went out and picked up. So on top of cleaning this facility every day, setting up every Friday and tearing down every Monday, there's a lot to have on their plate. Ideally, it would be great to have 2 more people.
I was gonna say, at least another part-time
It
person.
would be phenomenal. It would alleviate a lot of the pressures they have because they have a lot on their plate, a lot of expectations. So
Do you have that in
Is
your
there
budget?
room?
I don't know yet. That's.
Is there room in the budget for another one? Or we just can't find one because nobody likes to work anymore?
Well, that's the big part. I'll tell you, just to find full-time, I only had 3 or 4 applicants. The majority of our applicants didn't meet our standards or have the necessary skills that we wanted. So to have Justin come in and to be as motivated as he has been, it's been a breath of fresh air. So,
That's good.
yeah.
Don't let anyone steal them.
Well, that's, and that's what happens up and down the beach.
Yeah.
So, that's an issue. Even me, someone's trying, I already told Kyle that, so not gonna happen. But yeah, it happens all up and down the beach.
You said you had looked at my Morgan Park one, and there were a couple of things like the yellow curbing.
Absolutely.
There were some, what else that you said?
Just the easy stuff, the paint, the bike rack. So the plastic, like recycled plastic items that we have for like picnic tables and stuff. I do have 2 that are on order right now.
Okay.
So, those the 5-foot tables run $550 each. So they're pretty expensive.
Yeah,
But
they last forever.
forever.
Long past
right?
us.
And they float, which we know. So.
Floating is good.
Unlike my Adirondack chair.
Because they went floated under Tammy's dock the other day. So,
Oh, from the island?
no, from
South
Southside Park.
Oh.
So the kids threw the bench in there, and yeah, so we had to go.
Patty called, she goes, the bench is under my dock. And then, so I called, and then she's like, now the bench is under your dock. I was like, pretty soon it's gonna be under her dock, because the current
Yeah.
is really strong, I think.
So,
Well, like the bike rack, I just thought, because it's metal, it's
Yeah.
gonna rust, and that's what makes it look bad. Or is there something else like that kind of material
they
that they make
they
a bike
do
rack?
make bike racks. They're equally as expensive. Everything is made to order there. So I can look to see, I don't know still being new, I can't pretend like I know all the ins and outs of how
Right,
this
and
works,
I'm-
so.
Just a suggestion, because that requires no maintenance, right?
Absolutely, right.
So-
We've just put it in there, bolted down.
Yeah.
And that way it stays as a permanent fixture. I think that's a great idea. Again, not making an excuse, but I'm still learning what my specific duties are. Even the smaller details is where I need to focus on more. We got the big details going on really well, but the small details, like looking at the condition of a bike rack,
Yeah.
that's something I 100% will admit I overlook. So that's why going back
That's
next
what I was
week.
supposed to be looking for.
Oh, no,
No, you
but
were,
see,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's why these reports are actually, I'm like, oh, great, so this actually helps me out a ton.
And I never
So-
go there.
Yeah. So it's, yeah, so this is very helpful.
So when you
So-
order things for each park, do you try to keep it color consistent with
I do,
everything?
I do.
Is it like our Bel Air blue, Bel Air Beach blue?
Depends on the park. One of the parks we're doing, I think it's gray.
Oh, that's what I meant, across all the parks, just like,
No, I think, well, I'd be lying to you if I told you if I knew the
Okay.
answer to that. I
It
don't
looks
know.
like all the docks are gray.
Most, yes, they're all gray.
yeah, they're very
It's
nice.
very, very nice.
So I will tell you
I would
this.
have painted those raw spots.
I know, you were bothered by that.
I wasn't bothered, I just thought we just put these things in brand new, these guys put up, and they got these exposed
This is-
wood
that's a year.
parts and all the rest of it's all coated.
I will
But
tell you on 20th.
that's your
Is it?
report, Deb.
The 20th Street Beach Approach Bridge,
Huh?
where the hotel is.
Notice it 'cause you make-
That pathway that goes there, we have the bridge that goes over onto the beach.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys are aware of that or not. We have that.
By 19th or
Or
20th?
is it
19th? Yeah,
19th.
yeah.
So we do have a disabled child that is in the area, so part of the benches, we're actually putting handrails
Oh,
Um,
nice.
to help. And tack strips also on the actual flooring. That way it's better traction for the child.
That's interesting that you said that, because it was one of my parks had the handrails coming up, and I said to him, look at this, it's like really convenient. I mean, it's still a step up and a step down, but
Yeah,
they had the handrails sticking way out now.
so that's what we're doing.
Good.
Or-
So making some parks more handicapped
I was at the
accessible.
city council meeting when that lady came in.
Oh, yeah. She's a nice lady, a little
Yeah.
eccentric, but I mean, we put signs up for her there, we put some new signs there.
Good.
So those have already been posted up and done. Now I'm just waiting for recycle, whatever they're called, recycle plastics to finish up with our order.
just out of curiosity here, I was a professional report writer. I'm trying to get away from it. But anyway, so do we have like kind of a standard format? Did you take kind of what, I mean, I put these 8 reports together, they look like this. Do all of our reports look the same? Does it make any
I
difference?
used your format, if that helps.
Mine's a little bit different, but I think it's basically the same. I used whatever I took on my notes at our meeting. There were 5 categories that Kyle listed, and I did basic maintenance, general observations, hazards, amenities, and bathrooms.
Because basically, it doesn't matter what format we all use, it's all gonna go into that one piece of paper.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that is our checklist.
So that will be the-
Yeah.
Well, there's only one, the only thing I would add to that, if you will, is this process might be most effective if we continue to rotate locations, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't know that Deb and I necessarily, our observations were exactly the same. I think this looks fine, you think it looks like crap, or vice versa. Okay, so over some period of time, over a year or two, if everybody kind of makes the rounds, then, you're gonna get a pretty good, feel of how the whole committee feels about any specific
And on
place.
top of that, I like that y'all were together.
Right,
'Cause
I
that's
think
a
there's
void
some,
with me,
I
so
think,
I can have another set of
Yeah,
eyes.
I
He
think
saw
it was
things
really
I didn't, I
good.
saw
the
things
reason
he
I
didn't.
make my point though about the format is that rather than rewriting a report, okay, when you go out there, you have the previous report, okay? I mean, these are public records.
So you have the previous report, we can work off the previous
Yeah,
reports.
All you gotta do is call a thing up and change stuff if you want to. That's why having
I'm
a,
keeping track of that, so this is what that binder is for.
Okay,
So, everything that you guys mail to me or to Kyle, that gets forwarded to me, whatnot, is gonna be going into this binder. So everyone here has their own folder. So, does that make sense?
Yes.
In here, so, you know, if Tammy says, hey, notice this, you know, I'm gonna print that out, stick it in here, and we're gonna figure out what we do to fix it.
And John, just so you know, we have been doing that. This is our third year doing this, and we
Yep.
all have been rotating parks. It's just the people have changed.
and we're gonna do it twice a year,
We
right?
do it twice a year.
And
Spring
also,
and fall, yeah.
what you should do is, once these people get the parks, like if Patty's doing what I did, you should give her the papers. So she knows what
Right.
I worked on, and then she could write, these improvements have been made, this hasn't, so.
That's what that,
Well, that's
Yeah.
what that form is, and Kyle, once it's updated with our new survey results, he or Aaron will bring that into every meeting and give an update on it. That's
Okay.
what we did all of last year, so we
Right.
will get an update, like, all the way up until the next time we do these surveys. And at some point, Kyle said, okay, everything on this list has been done that we can do for this fiscal year, so he stopped updating us. But up until that point, he was bringing that updated form to every meeting, every month, and passing it out. And
Okay.
updating the colors, because, you know, as it switched to whatever color was, you know, done, it's been done, check
That's
the box.
pretty impressive.
So yeah, so I wanna say the first time we did these surveys, I think that list got put together the second time we did the surveys, and we've been using it ever since, so, yeah, it's very nice. And
Yeah.
then-
so we should use that form, not what I got. My format could be adapted to whatever's there. Do you know what I'm saying? But
It's
nobody
all-
gave me any reports.
It's probably going to be me that's doing this, taking this over.
Yes, that's what I was
So what are you gonna take these observations and put them into a
And
And
single
put them into the
format?
chart, yep.
Well, that would be good,
Yeah.
because like I say, so I think what you have makes at least as much sense as what I put together. I just did,
well, like, I looked at yours and it was basically the same thing, I just,
sure,
mine were the words, the exact categories that he said, yours were the
Right.
same categories, different words.
right.
Different font size
Yeah,
and.
there you go.
So if we got a standard deal, if you could take these reports and put them together so they'd be in a single format, then I could just, next time I go, Patty just did this one last time. All I gotta do is take our standard format, okay, our standard format, and update it for whatever
You're looking for a template for us all
Yes,
to
ma'am.
work. That's what he's looking for, a
common
template.
template. I want a common template for the report.
Is that, and maybe I misunderstood, so did Kyle not do a template
No.
like this?
No.
He
Okay.
said if we could follow John's, if we wanted to,
Okay.
or we could use our own.
Yeah, but her thing is just as good. I'm not gonna, so why don't you,
Rock, paper, scissors it, and we'll just choose it.
There you
right, just put together something and say,
go.
how does this
Paste
look?
and glue- Paste and what? It's not paste and glue when you do it on the
Cut and
phone.
Cut and paste.
Cut and paste, there you go.
Patty inside is very good at making templates, so.
Yeah.
I do have one quick question. I don't know if we're about to move on, but you said the signs for some parks have been just printed. What are those for?
So, I didn't say, I don't know if I said.
Signs?
Parks, but I can tell you that I have ordered new signage. We do have some new signs that are going into our parks that needed to be replaced because they're.
Oh, okay.
Looking very.
Yeah.
Oh, just-
That was on my
okay.
list.
We've already got those. They've already been printed. They're sitting in our.
Okay.
In our shop right now, so. And new street signs, new stop signs, new yield signs. But like I said, we had to get caught up with, you know, we were down a guy for about a month and a half, so. Yeah, so now that we're pretty much all caught up, we guys are seeing brand new signs in there.
Okay.
I don't know if this is legal or not, but if they ever need help with landscaping, I'll be a volunteer. I mean, like around the parks, like in front of 19, it really needs some more mulch. I don't know if y'all put that, but it needs
Right,
some
well,
more
I-
mulch. and,
yeah.
You know, there-
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm allowed to volunteer, you know, but I would. I just like to do that. I like to get dirty.
Maybe we could have like a volunteer group once a month or twice a month
Yeah, just like.
as you can do it, to go out and with the permission of the city, maybe donate their time in helping.
Well, that's exactly the Adopt a Park program.
yeah. I was
Okay,
just gonna
Yes,
say,
I mean, everything that you've talked about is
Yeah.
covered in this Adopt a Park program, which I literally got the template, like, I filled in, like, everything, and then Kyle sent it to the city attorney, and then he put all the legalese around my wording, and then he sent it back to me. There are some questions that I have, so like, and then I'm hoping to kind of put it like, like we would launch it in June. But yeah, so like you don't actually have to spend money. Like say, for example, if Patty Pothoff and I adopt South Park, because obviously we live right there, we hate
Right.
looking at it, it's an eyesore. And you compare it to some of these other ones, because I've surveyed every park, it's sort of a
Yeah.
disgrace. And it's gotten worse, not better. And it's just like, it is what it is. It gets beat up because of location. But so like if Patty and I adopt that park and say, so we have set budget that we plan to spend, and then we have to, here is our, basically our schematic of what, you know, here's our list of what we'd like to do, here's the placement, what we'd like it to work with. There is a very specific list of what the city is responsible for, what the adoptee is responsible for, like, and it also includes like doing the landscaping and planting things that are under like a certain, like you would know this, I don't know this, like a 15 gallons. Would you plant something that's 15 gallons, or is that too heavy for you?
Oh, way too heavy for me.
Okay, so like
That's what we just
That's
bought.
like 75, 80
Okay,
pounds.
so
Yeah,
that's one of
way
the
too
questions that I have for Kyle, because he said anything 15 gallons or below, Patty and I have to plant, which I'm like, Patty's like, do you know how heavy that is, Tammy? I'm like,
Yeah.
nope, because I don't plant shit, excuse me. I don't know how big that is. So she's like, that is way too much for us to
It's
plant.
about what you're gonna put out your back. That's, the insurance is gonna be a big piece of what you're talking about. But you put out your back,
Yeah.
15 gallons
It's
is
too big.
Well,
big.
would you be paying for those 15, or is the foundation paying for it?
No. Like, we pay it through the foundation, so we get the tax write-off. Foundation is only
Me
like
as
a
in you and
vehicle.
Patty?
Me and Patty as in private citizens.
Right.
As whoever adopts the park
Whoever
pays
adopts
for
the
it.
park.
But I do have a question about that. If you adopt the park and you put in landscaping, is it then your responsibility to continue to maintain whatever you put in for the next
2 years.
2
So
years?
it depends on, so like you've adopted the park. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to maintain that landscaping, meaning replant it if it dies or whatever. But like, you know, if you do something like a bench, then obviously it's got the same thing as all of our other benches. Like the lifespan of the benches, some of them are 5 to 10 years. So like, all of that is written into the legalese about how long you would be
Okay.
responsible for it.
Do we
And it's
spec
all varies-
materials? Would we or the city spec materials? Specify materials. Has to be
It would
this
come from
grade.
the city.
Yes.
It would
Right.
come from the
See,
city.
because those benches that the Bel Air Garden Club put in are much higher grade than the benches over here. Much higher. They're
Over
much
here
more
meaning?
expensive. Yeah, the benches over here, they're all sway backed like this. Those things are not
They
gonna
don't
get sway
age.
backed,
Yeah.
period.
We should get the garden club involved with us.
Yes.
Yes, they would like to.
Yeah, even if we're just like, go out one day and plant flowers or something, you know? I don't
I
know.
talked
I-
to them one time because, actually, one of them approached me because of when I was, whatever I had to do to stand up in front of the council and say, yeah, I want to be on the Parks and Rec. I thought Parks and Rec did more of that kind of thing, planting, and so I said, oh yeah, and I love to be outside and do this and do that, and then the garden lady came up and said, you should join the garden club. What do? We meet once a month and have lunch.
Okay.
Well,
That's all I was saying.
but
Wait a minute, I know they must do more than that.
if we do something like that, okay, to me, I would be looking to do what I would call permanent plantings, okay? So it's all gonna be perennials,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that the city, okay, the city can maintain the stuff, because this is a relatively transient place. I mean, it's not like living in St. Paul or, you know, it's not like that. The turnover is fairly high. So we want to do perennials, and so like, yeah, I love flowers.
Yeah, nobody's
But
planting
I went up to this
annuals.
Belle Isle Park, they got flowering trees, and there's flowering bushes and flowering shrubs, so they're maintained.
Kitchen.
It's more, they're more expensive to put in. But once they're put in, if they can be maintained by the city, and you got flowers.
Yes.
Whereas annuals
Well,
are, it's
I can-
great in Minnesota.
I can tell you, we just replaced the flowers in the flower pots out here outside of the community center room there, because those flowers were dead. So, if we were to put in, obviously, flowers, I'd made sure, like, what we put in there were stuff that was low maintenance, because I didn't want to put any more work on the guys.
Right.
But stuff that looks pretty but low maintenance,
Yeah.
very little water.
Low maintenance is
I think you
important.
could've called me and
I mean, that's very
I potted-
important.
No, really, I just potted a bunch of pots around my pool, so, and I like to do that kind of stuff. Tammy said I have a green thumb. I don't have a green thumb, but I like to do it.
Sure, cool.
So
I had no
I
idea.
would volunteer for something like that if you have a little,
Okay, yeah, we just did those yesterday, but yeah, I mean, hopefully it's
always call,
alive,
it's like,
The city has some specifications about what can and can't be planted, okay? Which we somehow, whether we get an expert in here or whatever, maybe the garden club knows this stuff, okay? But you can't plant this because it's invasive. This works really good. There's a lot of this around, but we can't have it anymore. I'd love to, what makes that Belle Isle Park up there? They got 4 oak trees in that little space. Now, we're never gonna see these oak trees grow up, and then you're never gonna get them to grow up on the 6th Street Gulf exit, because the soil's too bad. But, so there's a lot of, the soil is different.
yes.
The soil is different on the other side of Gulf and then where I live from where you live. I mean, it's different. So, if you're gonna do this stuff, which I totally think that that's where we're at. I mean, it all got down to landscaping. When you looked at it, I was like, what is it? And I can't even say. What is it that is so inviting about this park? I couldn't describe it to you. I don't know, because I'm not an expert. Okay? So I'd like to, if we want to pick a park or something like this, why don't we get somebody else involved, maybe the garden club or something like that. We would need more knowledge to do the job right, to say, I would like to do this to this park.
Providing they're not just lunch goers and actually know what they're doing, so.
Well, I know they have guest speakers come
They do.
in
They
that,
talk about
Yeah.
plants.
one of them called me, but it was just basically about buying a brick. It wasn't about they had some money, and I think, aren't they buying more benches or something? I don't know what she said. I thought they were
I've not been told that.
working on something. But anyway, so, as far as reporting on your actual parks, are you done?
I'm never done.
I mean, I just wasn't, you talked a little bit about 20th and 25th and Belle Isle being you're nice, but you saw.
Well, that's what I saw. I mean, Deb, we only went to 4 places together, but these 20th and 25th, they just stood out. And frankly, the farther south you went, the more it kind of deteriorated. As far as the access, on the Gulf, which is on the bay, okay? The Gulf accesses are completely different. First of all, they're all parking lot, which is an unnatural act, but that's life, okay? But, because of the amount of shore we have, and some of it's so sparse, it's kind of like, it is what it is. So it's not going to be to the same grade as what you can get on that side. Plus, you have soil on this side, and there's no soil over here, it's all sand. So it's completely different that way, from what I know about it. But that's what I saw. I think that we could do a lot more with the
Aesthetics.
accesses on the bay side. There's not probably much you can do on the Gulf side. There's not that much to work with there. And then the marina,
You
you
said
go out
they're
to some of the
paving it?
parking lot.
They're
Not
going to?
paving it,
No.
no. But I just know the last time that I surveyed the marina, there were some things that were broken, and then the signs for the marina slips, 1, 2, they needed to be repainted, they were coming off in chunks, so those have been.
Those were fixed, yeah.
Yeah, those
I
were
thought the
fixed.
signage was good. I
So
mean,
it's
everything
gonna
worked.
change every time, because when I did it, the signage was not good,
Yeah.
so.
I personally, I'm not sure what the objection is to that parking lot. It's a very sparsely used space. I don't know what that stuff is.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. That marina doesn't get used. I mean, I do all the collections from our parking and all that, and I give.
I have never seen that, I've never seen that material. I've worked with asphalt contractors, paving,
Yeah.
concrete paving contractors. I'm familiar with that stuff.
Well,
I've never seen that stuff before, and I looked and I said, this is ugly, and I bet it's cheap,
What is it?
but it drains great.
I'm not really sure, but I mean, when I do my rounds, I might see a vehicle or two in there a week. So, right now we're submitting our proposal, I just finished up with it for the dock renovation.
On which street?
For the marina.
Oh, the marina.
Yeah, so we're submitting out, that's gonna get approved by.
Is that outside our scope?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like that, but yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, so, that was something that Kyle had started before I got here. We just gotta re-inspect it, but anyways, I'll move on from that. But that space though, that was something that I had taught, or we had taught about. It's underutilized, and it is definitely a space that can be kind of a fun area for, like weekend farmers markets. And we could actually.
Oh, that's a
rent
great
out-
idea.
Rent out those spaces, canopies, get.
Like every other little town has.
Absolutely, and I think it would be a great use of that space. Even food trucks, or events there. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
That sounds cool.
So, anyways, that was the idea about that space.
Wow.
It's good. I'm just gonna interject real quick right here because I have to step out in like 3 minutes. But hopefully I see you guys all. I know some of you are volunteering. Actually, all of you are volunteering. Boop, boop. On the 22nd, so I will see you then at 5:15, but we'll be contacting you. And then hopefully you all have and can attend the board appreciation lunch on the 26th of April. Patty sent out an invite.
Let me see if I wrote that down.
It's noon
I think I
on the
have company. I
26th.
have company in town.
You can't come, and you can't come?
I cannot.
What about you? I literally canceled my dentist appointment today because I didn't want to miss this, like,
I know, but
I work Monday and Wednesday.
no,
I know
So
Wednesday I
Lloyd's
take
coming,
care of
not
my
me.
mom.
I know. What about you, John? Are you coming?
Yeah, I am.
Okay,
I am,
then won't
I'm gonna be
cancel my
gone,
dentist appointment.
like I think I told you, for about 5 months. And so so your meetings go a lot faster. Because what I would like to do, if it's possible, is I would like to participate via Zoom. In order for me to do that, the only way I can talk is I have to raise my hand, and everybody else has to be quiet, otherwise I can't hear anything.
Are you asking permission to do that? I think that's what he's asking.
Well, no, what I'm saying, can we do a Zoom meeting? But I am saying that I cannot talk unless I push a button, and I only have audio, so you'll be able to hear me. But then when I go back out of that on a Zoom meeting like this, then I won't be able to talk at all. You follow what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we know how
So in
Zoom-
other words, you have to recognize me at the chair. John has something to say, and I'll say whatever it is, and then you'll say, "Are you done now, finally?" And I'll say,
"Are you
"I'm
sure?"
done," and I'll push a button, and then you go off and just keep talking.
But before Tommy
And
leaves,
if I can ask, okay, I know, I have a very difficult time following. I can do this in this format. I will have a difficult time sometimes following if two people are talking at one time. That's what it takes for me to do a Zoom meeting. So I'll do the best I can if you want me to be in on the Zoom meeting.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll figure it out.
can we just jump in and get a date that all works before you leave?
Yeah, for next month?
Yeah, May 23rd, anyone? Let me make sure I'm, May 23rd-ish?
Is that Tuesday or Thursday?
It's a Tuesday. Or we can do May 18th.
May
no.
18th.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You
What?
can't do May 18th.
Not at 2, I can't.
What time can you do
After 3:30, maybe? It's a little late. Tuesday?
Are we on May?
it? Yeah. May.
So 16, 18, 23, or 25, is that?
I could do 25.
I can do 25 too.
I can do 25.
At 2?
That's
25 should be good.
Yeah, I'll be prepared.
So you can't do 2.
Well, it looks like we're going somewhere, it looks like. I was trying to figure that out.
On that day?
Well, I was trying to see if, it's something on my mark, but it didn't come up to what it is. Maybe it's just that it's his birthday.
Still 2 o'clock?
Well, it depends on the day. So no, to the 25, you don't know.
Well, I prefer not to, if we can do 23rd or 18 or 16.
What about the 11th? Did-
We're not still on the 25th?
11 is good.
I could do the 11th.
John, are you good for the May 11th?
Just a second here. Actually, on the 11th, May 11th, I think I'm actually going to come back here. I may be here on the 11th.
Well, that'd be good. wouldn't it?
That'd be perfect.
I'll be here on the 11th. I'm going up, coming back, then my wife and I are driving the pets up. So I'll be here on the 11th. I think we are, what day are we leaving here? 11, 12, 14. Actually, we might be leaving on the 11th. I can't say.
And then you're gone for 5 months.
Pardon?
Then you're gone for 5 months.
Yeah, except on Zoom. But I don't know. Like I say, it wouldn't surprise me if I have to come back at least once. So
So is this date okay?
I kind of think we're actually, when I now look at it, I think we might be leaving on the 11th. So, no, it doesn't work. Can we do the 10th? The 10th for sure I'm here.
No, they can't do Wednesdays.
How about the
And that's
9th?
Mother's Day.
The 9th I'll be back here. I should be, am I going to be back here? 1, 2, 3.
I could do the 9th.
I can't do the 9th.
Okay. That's why I wanted to do this while you were still here.
No,
Yes,
that's good.
yeah.
I could do,
What was 16 and 18? Did they?
I can't do the 16th. I can do the 18th, but you couldn't do the 18th.
I couldn't.
You couldn't do the 18th.
Okay.
You can't do the 25th.
Right.
I could maybe change.
23rd? 20, John? you're
23rd
gone.
I think is okay for me.
Perfect for me.
Okay, May 23rd it is. 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Madonna mia.
That was fun.
2
Can you
o'clock?
imagine if there were 10 of us? No. It would
Never
just
get
have to
anything
be, the meeting is on this day every month, and if you can't come, you can't come. But like, we're
Yeah.
lucky there's only 4 of us, so.
Right, because we can do that.
Still at 2 o'clock?
Still at 2 o'clock. All right, thank you. And now Patty, the vice chair, is going to take over. Thank you.
As you're on your way out,
Thanks,
those bricks
Pammy.
are supposed to be here tomorrow.
Between 10 and 2.
Okay.
And I did give them Kyle's cell phone number because a lot of times when I
He
call the
won't pick
city
up.
number, no one picks up either. You know, like if they're not at their desk. The last 3 times I've called the city, it goes to a voicemail. It's got Lynn Reeves on it. So,
You can, if you want, my phone's always on me because my daughter's calls. So,
Okay. I
Kyle very rarely picks up also on
Okay.
his cell phone.
It's supposed to be 10 to 2.
Roger that.
So do you want us,
He's busy, that's
each person to go through? I think it's a general consensus. I think we've discussed parks
Yeah,
enough.
I think, I have one question.
This isn't how we've done it in the past, but like I
Oh.
said, everybody can, it doesn't matter because if he has all the information, he puts it on the recap sheet. Like we would literally go through and
Each park.
each park, and you would read your results. We've talked about them for an hour, and we really haven't done that with any of them yet. So it is what it is. Like, if,
Well, we can redo that next month if you want.
yeah, I mean it's fine, and maybe like we can do it from the recap sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll just revisit it
Revisit.
next month.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah, I don't, if the reports are written, I don't know that we have to go through them item by item, as long as they have them. It's a matter of public record. It's on the record, not gonna change it now. If he does a recap, and I go back through my notes and I look at his recap, and I say, well, you didn't mention this. That's, to me, that would be the summary doc. And that would go along with this report, with the city council, I would guess. No? How do we report to the city council?
We don't.
We don't?
No.
Okay.
I mean, we haven't in the past. Like, I gave it, they know, like, quarterly board report, I say, we are once again doing our spring surveying of the parks. We give the
You did that
results.
the other night.
I did it the other night, and I do it usually
Okay.
a quarterly board report right after, you know, the following us doing them. So they know that we do them.
Okay.
And pretty much it's Kyle and Aaron, because anything that goes up one step higher, like say, we surveyed the park and the playground equipment is falling apart, then it all goes to Kyle or Aaron, and then it gets presented to City Hall to say, are you going to approve the budget for, you know, it takes on a different level.
Okay.
So like, there's nothing that City Council really needs to know, other than the fact that we do the surveys, and then Aaron and the team follow up on what needs to be taken care of, what they can take care of, et cetera.
Okay.
So as far as like standing up there and reading that to them, again,
Okay.
they don't want to hear it, I don't want to do it.
Okay. Fine with me, just trying to figure out ground rules here.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's just, that's, I mean, and I think like if they had a question about anything specific, they would see, you know what I mean? They would be able to ask and we would have the answers. So,
Okay.
okay, and I missed my hard cut off. All right, bye guys.
Bye.
See you later,
Thank you,
Tammy.
Tammy.
See you later, thank you.
I have a question about, like, if you're putting it all into that format.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if that format had beautification, because that's what John was saying, a lot of it was just beautification. Because one thing at Morgan Park, I don't know if you read that part, but the bathrooms needed inside and out. And when Lloyd and I were looking at them and thinking, you know, you could do something really cool with this. The outside wall could be a mural.
Sure.
If we had a resident that
Like a
wanted
local
to,
artist or something.
yeah,
I'll-
could
you
do
know,
something
I think
like
it's a
that.
great idea. I love those ideas. I really do. That's something obviously I can't make the call on. That's something I'd have to speak with Kyle about.
Yeah, but I mean, can it go on that format?
I don't see why
Beautification
not.
list.
I mean, I think
Okay.
it's an improvement. It's a
Right.
suggestion for an improvement.
I like that idea, actually,
I
with the
mean-
painting on the outside, a mural.
And then on the, like the floor, if y'all, it looked like recent painting, but it's already peeling.
The
So
floor
you
in the
do
bathroom?
floor-
So
You do something in there
that's-
that's like the pebble paint, so it doesn't show when it's peeling or something.
Yeah,
And it's,
I think you're right. Those are difficult to do because of the foot traffic, especially with now it's gonna be
The
warmer.
sand.
And the sand and everything, so, but I do agree with you on that. We would just have to figure out when we could actually do that, where we're not going to interrupt.
well, Monday through Friday, it's not that bad. Well, I guess it will start that in
Yeah,
June,
we
but
just-
from now, but. But
Do
again,
it
I
in the
guess my
summer
thing
when no
was
one's here.
Were the beautification parts just the landscaping, not
Sure.
the problems or the hazards? Are
Well-
those included in that kind of report? That's my question, I guess.
I think they ought to be.
Yeah.
I think they ought to be as
Yeah,
well.
because I mean, I think it's all hand in hand with that.
Okay.
So, because everything that you're doing, you're pointing out, you know, in those reports, you're saying, hey, these are some things that don't look so good, and here's some things that do look good.
All right.
And
I
this
think
is
it-
Bella
I-
Beach, and we
it-
need to look good.
Well, I mean, because it is a premier, you know, I mean, I live in Indian Rocks, but I can't afford where y'all live yet,
Okay.
so.
That's
Well,
okay.
I'm a little behind the.
We're also a little older, Aaron.
Hey, I'm trying, I'm working, so, but no, this is an area that has an expectation of, here's how I look at it, outside in, forgetting that I work for the city, is that when I see you guys that live here, you guys worked hard to get to this area, and you guys take pride in this area, and there's this kind of this culture of, hey, because we've worked so hard, this is what we get because of that. So, and again, it has zero to do with me being in the city. That's how I look at these things. So because of that, I think that, yeah, right. I think if there's suggestions for, hey, this would look prettier if we did this, or this would look a little bit nicer, I think it ties in with this.
Okay.
So, sorry going that way, but.
Well,
No, I think it's important because honestly, people who live in Bel Air Beach consider it paradise. And the more it continues to look like paradise, the more you will continue to attract people that look for that. And I think it's important.
Now we get to deal with that traffic on Gulf Boulevard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank God I turned left.
I turn left, and I go 2.5 miles. I live right there at Walsingham Golf.
I know.
Take a right, if you head down south, take a right there at Walsingham, I'm right in there.
Oh,
Couple
nice.
steps from the
Oh, that's a
beach.
very nice place.
Yeah.
How come Bel Air Beach owns so many parks?
I don't know, you know, we just had a park survey. Well, we didn't really fit into this park survey because it was asking about, you know, our fields and soccer, and softball and all this, so that
Yeah,
excluded
you have a
us.
lot of those.
But we have a ton of parks here, so I don't know.
And the city just owns all that property. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot of property.
It's a lot, and John was like, this is valuable property.
Well, that's 16th Street access there, that's a full build, that's a mansion's lot.
Yeah,
it's
it's a
huge.
large lot.
Yeah.
It's, I mean,
it's
it's
a
big
$1
and it's
piece of
wide and
property.
it's a nice spot. I
Yeah,
mean.
that's what we determined as
Yeah,
well.
it's gotta be a close to $1 million piece of property.
Easy.
One thing I guess,
Yeah.
just from listening, I mean, this is the way I kind of did these. As I started out, I looked at, this is what's here and how well is it maintained. But I think a lot of our discussion is, I don't want to take that for granted, because that's a really important part of what we do when we do these audits, in my opinion, okay? Because the city needs to know that, yeah, we do care about this, and we appreciate the job you're doing. But then the other part of it is, what could this be? And
Right.
that's something where this piece feels organized, what's here, how it's maintained, what needs to be done with what's here. The other piece about what could this be, especially like I see in 20th, 25th, and Belle Isle, that is, I think that at some point we need to have that kind of worked into the agenda somehow and figure out some way to spread that around, so maybe some of that can happen. I know we have the bricks thing is a good thing. I don't know exactly what we're gonna do with this, but I think
Well, the
she's,
bricks are going out front here,
Pardon?
out front of City Hall.
the bricks going out in front of City.
Yeah.
And is that in connection with the fundraiser for 16th? Are we doing?
No, that's in connection with the Bel Air Beach Community Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization
Right.
that works on behalf of the citizens of this town for different reasons, fundraising, beautification.
Separated from the government.
So that has
events.
nothing to do with 16th, what am I missing about the 16th Street Beach and this activity that's coming up? The 16th Street access,
What activity?
the kayak
the-
launch and all this, what am I?
That's not, I don't think that's tied into any event that we have going on, like city event I'm aware of.
Yeah, me neither.
Really? I'm the only person who's confused about that, well, I must have it wrong.
So the event that we're doing is on the 22nd. It's here in City Hall.
Right.
I'll be here for that.
It has nothing to do with that 16th
No.
Street kayak launch?
That event, that's
Earth Day.
Earth Day is for that, that's the kayak launch, but
So-
this event coming up.
There's two events, right?
is
There's
Earth
20,
Day. I think it's not, people were thinking that the Earth Day, from my understanding, was at 16th Street
Oh.
for a kayak launch.
That's what he's
But it's not.
thinking.
But it's not.
so there is something, no?
The
No.
22nd is here, which is Earth Day. That's the event here.
Yeah.
On the
Nothing is happening
22nd.
on 16th Street.
Oh, I for some reason, I was kind of confused. I thought that there's the bricks, and then there's 16th Street, and then there's this Earth Day deal.
We could double check, I mean.
Well, if you guys got it figured out, I don't want to be that stupid.
I think it was just a kayak
What is this
thing,
guy from outer
people-
space? What is he reading?
People had thought, I had heard that people thought that this Earth Day thing was for a kayak launch at 16th Street, which it is not for that.
You've heard somebody else say that?
Yes. So-
See?
I didn't say you were wrong.
Right.
So well, I was
It
just
just-
confused, so it was confusing.
I think maybe because the way they put it out in the first place was they're raising money, but like maybe
Yeah.
they're raising money for different events or objects in the city, and maybe that was one of them
Sure.
projects. Thank you.
Yeah.
So it might have got misconstrued that it was there.
Okay, so we have a foundation event coming up. There's a 16th and a 20th. No, we have something here on Saturday. We're gonna do
We
this,
have a wedding on Saturday.
we're gonna pick, that's a Pinellas County deal, right?
Oh, the
Oh, the
bridge.
bridge.
No,
Bridge.
that's the community, Bel Air Community Foundation.
So that's Saturday, right? And then there's Earth Day is 22.
It's the beach the bridge cleanup he's talking
What
about.
time is that at?
9 to 11.
Then on the 22nd,
Time's the wedding?
we have
That's
Earth
worked
Day.
out right now. Let me find out real quick about that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
What,
a lot of-
the 22nd is Earth Day, right?
Yes, it is.
And is that a Saturday or Sunday?
It's a Saturday. It's a Saturday evening event.
Right? we're
Come
gonna-
dressed nice.
Oh,
I
yeah,
was
no,
gonna
I'll
ask
do the
that.
best I
Nice.
can, honest to God. I think I might even give my wife
I don't know,
out
but he
there.
looks very nice right now.
Well, yeah, I know. Yeah. Anyway, I'm coming, to me, this is coming downtown.
You got that right.
All right. So on the 22nd, we have Earth Day, and is that a fundraiser? Is that
It is a fundraiser
for the
for
foundation?
different project, for the foundation to receive money, which will go to different projects within our community.
One of which is the
Six-
kayak launch. on
16th
16th.
Street Kayak
One of
Launch.
those projects.
God, now
And
it all
that's how
comes
it's tied
together.
together.
Now it's
Just
coming
need the right
together.
people to explain
Well, the
it to
Earth
you.
thing with the kayak deal is so, they're so like
Hand in
part of the
hand.
same thing kind
Yeah.
of deal. And anyway, and then we have the appreciation deal, and that's a lunch like during the week or something
Yes.
like that. It's on 25th.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I was just trying to, the
Okay.
foundation,
Do you guys want to talk anymore about the parks or say whatever?
Not really.
Okay.
I wrote my stuff down so I don't have to really say anything again if
Right.
somebody wants to read it.
Right, well, we will.
We
We'll
will.
all get it.
It's all gonna be compiled
Okay,
and we'll read everyone's.
okay.
Is there any other business? Then we can move on to number 6. If we're not gonna discuss the parks anymore.
So wait 1 second. Okay, so other business, yeah, I don't have anything, do you?
I don't.
No, I mean, I have a lot on Morgan but they're gonna see it.
Okay,
That's
but-
that's why I was asking for that, because that mural, I really think that would look so cool.
So, so for other business, do you have anything for other business?
Other business?
Um,
That's the next thing on our agenda. If we're
Yeah.
finished with the park surveys, do you want any more? You've got all
I've
this?
got them all. I've got them
Do
on
you need
here.
us to discuss any more for you, or
If
you
if
have
I do,
questions about ours?
well, I am gonna go next week. I think I am, and go look at everything that you guys printed out.
Oh, okay, good.
cool.
So yeah, so I can tell exactly what we're talking about, and I can prioritize now that I know about this forum, which I wasn't aware of. Now I can prioritize what I think needs to be done and what we can't do at this point. So
You're learning right along with us.
yeah, I am. I am green still with this. Like I told you, my back profession is law enforcement, so this is new for me. So,
Okay.
but I think that's all I've got right now. So the only thing I would ask, though, and I'm just gonna back my boys or the guys out, is anything extra that we do just puts more work on them. So just be kind of cognizant of those ideas.
Say again?
Any extra things that we do, just kind of adds some extra work for our 2 crew guys. I'm trying to find alternatives of keeping, morale good, of course, and keeping it relatively, how do I say this? I don't want to say easy to do because it's not easy to do, but it's something that they can actually do and not
Right,
break the
overwhelm
passion.
them.
Overwhelm them. That's a better word to use.
Not what?
Overwhelm
Yeah.
the 2
Overwhelm?
guys.
Yeah, we have.
Well, we don't expect them to get everything done,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think that's what your chart does. It
Prioritize.
prioritizes.
And I think it's a
For
long
us as
term.
well as for them.
Yeah, it's a long-term
So,
plan,
okay.
so.
It's
I just want to
very
make sure we're on
long-term.
the same page because I've been really kind of going to bat for him. I would love to get another 2 people. We probably could with as much as we do.
Yes.
Other cities outsource a lot of stuff we don't.
That's great.
Yeah, so
Would
You
it-
do pass on our comments from these meetings, obviously, if we
I
the
do.
observation
They-
was they did it,
These guys,
thought did a good
they're
job.
very loved. I mean, I don't know if you guys ever see them out there, but everyone always tells them thank you and everything.
Oh,
so.
yeah. Well, we
Right.
see Grady a lot.
Yeah,
We
Grady-
used to- When he was all by himself, we really saw him a lot.
Yeah, poor guy. He was running around crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you find out about the wedding?
She doesn't know what time it starts at. She's gonna have to figure or find out. So.
Yeah, because
Well, we didn't
we'll
do
all be,
much.
well, we're all gonna be parked in the parking lot too.
Yeah. But a
I
lot of
can't
people
imagine.
walked.
I can't imagine a wedding
Not a
starting
sound
at
thing.
9 or 11.
I mean, no, I don't think so.
Usually you'd be like a 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think
So
you're
I it'll be
fine.
Okay.
All right, so Patty.
I just have one observation on there. I'm not sure it's even other business. I think it's part of the Parks and Rec survey.
Okay.
But it's been discussed to do this twice, okay? But I would like to suggest, strictly from a selfish standpoint, because I want to participate to the extent I can. I really like if we say like this April deal or whatever, this meeting is like our final, and or we set a time and we say, once a year, we do these reports, if we're only gonna do it once.
We do
And
it twice.
Okay, that's what I'm getting to. So we should say, at this meeting is when all these reports are submitted, and Tammy goes to the meeting before that and says that they're in, okay? So that's once a year. After that, okay, we should have some flexibility in terms of the timing. And we talked about having another report in October or something. I think we could maybe say sometime, everything will get hit by some person between October and December. And I don't know if we want to go through the same reporting, maybe more of an exception report kind of a deal. Or what's your thoughts? Or
My
you wanna
thought
go
is keep
complete-
it the same, and you go back out in 6 months, you do the same job, we hand them the same papers. Hopefully by then some improvements have been made, so our list decreases.
Yeah.
I think, we'll put it on the books when we need to. You wanna keep checking out parks? Do it.
Why, I'm not
You
gonna,
can
no,
always
I'm not
report
gonna
it,
do it.
though.
You
Yeah.
guys will think I
Just
don't
like
have a
you can
life.
No, that's what Patty's saying, you could always report something.
Yeah, if you see something when you're out, definitely it should.
Well, I think that doing the things on a periodic basis so that you get some, what do you say?
Consistency?
Well, things change every day.
Yeah.
Somebody comes along today and throws, 5 no good tickets, you know what I mean, gambling tickets. Throws them, and they're there sitting in front of my house and I'm taking out the garbage. Well, that's just today. It's never happened before. So I guess my point is, we do this twice. If we could have the other ones done in more like by November or something, I don't care. So we're gonna do it twice, but we're gonna have a report once a year. Are we gonna do
Twice a
report
year,
Twice.
twice a year,
We're gonna do a report
twice a year.
So when do we need to have them done by?
We'll determine that when Tammy tells us it's time to think of it again.
Okay, I just want to have enough time. I want to get my fall fishing season in up there, okay, if you want the absolute truth.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, you let us know when
I'm
we're
just gonna
back and
tell
then
you
we'll
the
do
truth.
it.
Well, I plan to be back by around the middle of October, and I'd like to have at least until the middle of November to do my work.
We will put that down, middle of November. I'll put
Thank
it
you.
in the
Thank
notes.
you, thank you,
Do.
thank you. I
Due
don't want to
in the
come
middle
right
of
back here and
November.
have to do everything right
I'll be in
away.
Vietnam,
You'll be
You
in
will?
Vietnam,
maybe, we'll see. Yeah.
visit in October.
Either Egypt, yeah, one or two.
Wow.
I
Why?
get time off. Every November I go on a big trip.
Oh,
so-
good for you.
Off the record, yeah.
Well, I
Okay.
don't know, it's,
Move on? Yeah.
That's it. No,
Wait.
we've already got the
Oh, that
next
was
meeting
it?
date and time. Yeah, other business and then.
Wait,
Yes,
even though we had the other date and time, we still need a motion.
Exactly, but I can't make it.
Why not?
I,
As vice president,
you want,
can.
you want,
I don't think so.
do you want us to move on the next meeting date?
We already have.
Okay, we already did that.
But
We did
I
that
think,
for
I think we should still have motions.
Yes, I said, but I'm not.
Oh, you can't make it. Yes, okay, I'll make a motion to approve the next meeting date. John, will anyone second it?
I second.
And John will second, and the date is set.
May 23rd at 2 o'clock, that's a Tuesday.
Gotcha. Perfect. Okay.
And,
But you have to read it.
Okay, May 23rd at 2 o'clock is our
No, the
meeting.
next one, make a motion to adjourn. Is there anything else, I guess?
No, that's what I said, that's what I just said.
You're
Is there
asking for a
anything
motion.
else?
I
Yes,
so
is there a
moved.
motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion to adjourn. So Patty's making the motion, John is adjourning, John is seconding it.
And
Okay.
aye.
Aye. Aye.
Excellent.